I'm currently getting ready to ask my girlfriend of 4 years to marry me, but a bit of an issue has come up. While talking to her recently, she mentioned that her parents were a bit concerned that I had not yet talked to them concerning my proposal. She threw me for a loop. Is talking to her parents, namely her father, who thinks I'm a screw-up, necessary in this day and age? Or is that tradition that went away in the 50s? That's from Confused in California.
No, it's still very much a thing.
Yeah, so I've only ever gotten engaged the one time, but my thought on this is whatever they think is a tradition is the tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you should. You should probably get a read on how traditional they are, which I think is gonna help you to light your way here. I don't think that this this gesture would ever be. I mean, I do understand there's inherent sexism in the gesture, but I don't think that it's necessarily going to offend anyone doing it. I mean, I think you run a much greater risk of offending people by not doing it.
Oh, yeah, like Teresa's
right?
parents. I was talking with Teresa before I did it, and I was like, I want to talk to your parents first. And she was like, they don't care. Don't worry about it. And I was like, yeah, but I do. And it was still a very nice moment, even though, like, it's not like if I had proposed without asking, they would have been super offended or anything.
Can you guys tell me?
It was just a nice moment for us.
I want to hear your stories. I want to hear stories from Justin, and I want to hear stories from Travis about how this talk went. Because, Justin, I know yours was kind of a panic attack.
I'm not good at anything that happens in this whole procedure, and I asked my now mother-in-law if she and my father-in-law could meet me at their house on their lunch break,
which I love.
And I'm like, come on back to the house. Let's just like talk this through.
Because you start out by inconveniencing them.
I know. This is like full panic attack. Like I ask them, I say, well, I'd like to, they guessed, they knew the jig was up, and I am like,
they somehow put two and two together.
What if you just got them some Subway subs, and they just called it, and you thought, I just thought this would be a nice thing for us to do together if we had Subway Sub Wednesdays.
Would you come back to the house on your lunch break, Reese? I want to point out all the messes you need to clean up.
Mm-hmm. Listen, I'm in the middle of asking, and they say yes, and then my now father-in-law says, I would like to ask that you would consider maybe holding off on getting married until after she had finished medical school, because I wouldn't want anything to get in the way of that. And I that was 3 years away, so I slapped my hand down on the table. I was like, listen.
Okay.
Back off.
This part of the
I don't remember that part.
I said, back off.
I think it's getting fictitious.
And then I think tall father-in-law.
That's what I said.
Father-in-law stood over you.
Yeah.
Even if your father-in-law was not a 9 foot tall, I would say Conan-esque figure, you would still probably not have the gumption, the vim to pull that maneuver off.
No, I just said I'll think about it, and then we just never brought it up again.
And then you got married 6 months later.
Yeah, this got married 6 months later. That was my play there. That worked out pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Didn't send him an invitation to the wedding until the day before.
Yeah, he just didn't bring it up again. So I was like, well, I guess this is cool. I guess we're cool.
Mm-hmm. Now, to be fair, you really did tie Sydney down while she was in med school.
Are you kidding me?
You burned all her books.
The crazy
wouldn't let her go to
about,
class.
The crazy thing about his assertion is that I would ever do anything to get in the way of me making that money.
I know.
I gotta get paid.
Anyway, Travis, was yours? Yours, I imagine, was much smoother.
Well, I mean, it was in the fact that we took them out to dinner in Dayton, so they didn't have to drive down to Cincinnati or anything. But
can you drive down to Cincy on your lunch break?
My plan originally was when Teresa gets up from the table, she go use the bathroom or something, or she goes away to check on whatever, I'll do it. And I told Teresa that, and about 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in, she's like, well, I'll be right back when we go to the bathroom. And I stood up with her and walked over and was like, I'm not going to do it till you come back. I can't do this without you there. She was like, oh, okay, cool. So I made her sit at the table while I asked her parents.
Push your courage to the sticking point, Travis.
Yeah, I didn't at all.